hospital. My skill in moving energy combined with my medical background have been a catalyst for change in many people's lives. I hope the next hour will be transformative for you as well. Good morning and welcome to the Manuchehri Show. We are live here in Seattle. Actually Bellevue. I mean, we're in like South Bellevue, I think it is.
Southeast corner, I think, of the pocket of Bellevue.
Right, little pocket of Bellevue.
Yeah.
I'm close to one of my favorite stores, the Rack, Nordstrom's Rack. Sometimes I leave the studio.
Yeah, I got to call down there and say, get her out of the aisle. She's got to go do her show.
Yeah, well, I don't go there before because they're not
do
open, but I would otherwise. I would, Benny. So maybe they can open early for some of us who venture, to this part of town. But yeah, afterwards, sometimes my car just ventures over there, and I can spend a few hours hanging out.
And that's okay, too.
Yeah, right. It's really fun. So I hope everyone's having a lovely, wonderful morning, day, night, wherever you are in the world. We have something really fun that's happening in the stars that's going to be affecting us next week, and that is an eclipse. It's a full lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. It's a really big, amazing eclipse. So don't be surprised if you're starting to have a lot of ahas about your life or some conclusions coming in, or some revelation that, oh, this is where I need to be putting my energy. Eclipses are so powerful and profound. They're really my favorite experiences in the astrology world, honestly, because what they do is they propel you to move forward. If you're listening, you're paying attention, you're curious, you're interested, doorways are already open. So even if you don't feel those things, the doorways are already open. But if you could get into that energy of curiosity, like, what is the universe wanting to communicate to me right now? We have over, I think it's like 40 tons. Maybe I don't know if it's 4 or 40, but we have tons of stardust that actually comes down to Earth every single year.
A ton is a lot already. So
yeah.
Whether it's 4 or 40.
It must be 40.
Could be a fourth of a ton. That's still a lot.
It's a lot of stardust.
Yeah.
Plummets onto the planet. And you breathe it in. We're all part of, the enormous galaxies that surround all of us and all of the multi-universes. So when something profound is happening in the stars and in the sky, of course it's affecting you. So I hope that you really pay attention because it's about a week before the eclipse. It's on the 26th of May. And there'll be another one right after it. They come in pairs typically. So we have the lunar eclipse on the 26th, and then we'll have the solar eclipse 2 weeks later. I can't remember what that one's in terms of the sign. At any rate, I want you to walk through those doors with confidence and clarity and fun and joy and happiness. I want you to be open for change because once you walk through those doors, they can permanently close behind you, meaning you can have a major shift in consciousness and view life very differently. And of course, what I want you to view differently, the most is yourself. I want you to see yourself in a beautiful, shining, gorgeous, expansive light. I want you to see your magnificence. I want you to know that you are adored and cherished. I want you to believe that you're an ever-present part of creation. So you have an opportunity to increase that potential and change your perception and heal things from your past, historically speaking, even from previous lifetimes, because anything we're working on in this lifetime is a reflection of something that's already occurred in a different century or even a different dimension. So it's kind of exciting.
And as per NationalGeographic.com, 40,000.
40,000 tons.
That's,
oh my gosh.
So
okay.
That's a bigger number than I expected.
Okay. Wow. We're even more stardust than I expected. 40,000 tons.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So, it's during eclipse time. Just take a lot of deep breaths. You can breathe in as much of the stardust as possible so that you can align with the stars and change your destiny or allow your destiny. If you really feel that what you're doing and what you're experiencing is in your best interest, we want it to expand. Expansion is normal. To keep expanding is healthy. To contract and not shift or change is not. Not that we don't have moments where we stay in some sort of stasis, where we might be doing some healing or some rest. But expansion is what it's all about.
There you go.
Okay, so we're taking calls,
yes, right? 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show, and I'm solo show producer today.
Jen is on an airplane right now.
She is
traveling to hang out with her friends.
Yes.
Some great friends of hers. So Benny will be running back and forth between studios.
So please be patient.
Yeah.
With me. I can only move so fast. I'm 44 now, not 24 like when I first started the show.
Well, you might be surprised. What, really? 24?
I don't know. I just tried maybe.
Wow.
No, I was like 30?
Wow,
2-ish,
that's a really long
30-ish.
time.
Well,
It's a long. I've known you since I've been a part of this. So it's been at least 14 years, I think, that I've been a part of KKNW in some way, shape, or form.
Such a young little whippersnapper.
Such a whippersnapper. But you can be as agile and as strong and flexible and fast at any age.
I did my lunges earlier.
Did you really?
No.
I know. I didn't do any exercises this morning. Sometimes for the radio show days, because I have to make sure the trash is out by 7 too. So I'm like, I'll get up early. I'll do some exercises, but yeah, that doesn't.
5 minutes before you hit the road, trash is out. I gotta go.
Totally. Well, no, I have to have it out by 7. And I leave around 8 something, so I can get to the studio in time. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you were gonna go down to the rack first, and then.
I wish they opened up earlier. I would, but they don't. They open up like at 10 or something like that. That cute little mall down there, that Factoria Mall, which is adorable. Yeah.
And all the employees are like, Marie's here already. Guys, just let her stare.
They definitely don't know me by name for sure. Okay, so we're taking phone calls?
Yep, 877-825-8828. And we'll take Donna starting things off, and she's calling in from Redmond. Hi, Donna.
Oh, great.
Hi, good morning. I just loved listening to you banter this morning. It just warms my heart.
Oh, well, thank you, Donna. You're very sweet. We're so happy that you've called into the show.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so grateful.
Oh, good. What can I do for you?
So a couple of interesting things going on in my life.
Not a surprise. I mean, we're on the precipice of an eclipse, a major eclipse. And you know what? On top of that, Pluto, has been in Capricorn for, 20 some years. And it's going to start to leave Capricorn 2023, which is just like hiccup away. So a lot of things are going to destructure significantly when a planet, especially a big, powerful outer planet, starts to leave a sign. That's when we get such huge amounts of obvious change.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, I am a Sagittarius, and I have a Capricorn rising.
Oh, well, there you go.
This is going to be a reason for this, but... So about a month ago, I just started feeling in my arms, like the inside forearms, this sort of like a pulsing, almost like a nervous tension feeling. But it wasn't like painful, but it's continued, and it's like almost like a blood pressure thing, or.
But it's bilateral, right?
It's both sides.
Right, yeah.
That's what yes, and inside only. Almost
interesting.
Like, so it could be electrical. It's strange. I'll massage it. So it's not to the point where it's like painful. It's just weird.
It is weird. It's really weird. And of course, I always recommend that people go and have a checkup. I think this is energetic because it's bilateral, right? Like the possibility that isn't, I think, is very small. But when you're ready to go have a checkup for whatever reason, just make sure you tell your doc. I think you are moving huge amounts of energy, and I think you are opening up Kundalini. And I don't think your Kundalini was super closed, but I think you started to open up like 8 years ago, and it kind of scared you, and you went on the Kundalini front. And now you're more relaxed, and you're more okay with things.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? Even these bilateral, and do have main arteries that run on the inside of your arm, right? You do, right? So now I think you're more relaxed, and so the Kundalini is starting to move in your body, and Kundalini is a weird, cool, amazing, powerful energy. And I've had clients come in, people who've opened up their Kundalini like really quickly, suddenly, and they literally cannot stop their body from moving or rotating, literally, or shaking. And of course, people who do that, they tend to be blocking Kundalini energy, and that's why it's taking longer, and it's having to push through their resistance so that it can maintain an open valve. So I would just enjoy this experience, which you are for the most part. You're doing really well. I don't see you scared. I see you curious, but I think this is part of a Kundalini expansion, moving to a fuller opening for you.
Awesome. Okay, so you mentioned about 8 years. That's right about when I entered into a relationship that just ended.
Oh, interesting.
About a month ago. And I was wondering if it had something to do with my love life because we've been in sort of this long-term relationship, and he kind of moved on right around that time. I didn't know about it, but then I found out about it. And we were, in the process of breaking up anyway. It's been for a while. We've been in that process. And we're
for
on good
too
terms.
long. For too long. And you're too nice.
Yeah.
You know this. So I'm going to ask you a very personal question, and you can not answer it.
Okay.
Right. When you guys first met, was the relationship like very enjoyably in terms of your intimacy?
It took a while.
So that would be a no, right?
Yeah, it took a little while.
Because some people start to open up Kundalini through having really joyful, powerful intimacy.
Yeah.
But so that means that probably what happened, I bet before you met him or just before you met him, you had some sort of Kundalini opening. And I think the relationship is what slowed down the Kundalini, or you contracted it. Because if
that totally makes sense.
Right, because if you grew too much with this person, things would have disintegrated a lot sooner. And so I think you held yourself back because you really wanted to have this person in your life, or you thought you did. And I actually think this person evokes some of your abandonment issues, emotional abandonment issues. So I don't recommend that you spend a lot of time with this individual unless you share children or something of that nature. Then, of course, you have to.
No, we don't. But even as friends, because we like to do things together.
Yeah. I mean, you get to do whatever you want, but here's what I recommend. Check in with yourself. How do you feel? And what I mean by that, before you go hang out, how do you feel on your own? And then when you're hanging out, how are you feeling? And then when you're done hanging out, how are you feeling? So you can notice your energy. Is it expanding or contracting?
Okay.
Because you've had a hard time letting go of this relationship.
I know.
So why would you continue to be friends when you don't want to be in this relationship anymore?
Right.
I mean, that's just my perception. What do you think, Benny? I mean, he's very, very busy right now, adjusting cameras.
Sorry, it's kind of just going to be one of those days where I can't participate as much. But sorry, ask a question one more time.
So she dated someone with long-term relationship for 8 years. Okay. Kind of a tricky relationship. Yeah. And she's maintaining the friendship. And I'm like,
It's kind of like still holding on, like a little bit. Like,
yes.
Are you still wanting to be then with this person?
Well, actually, I'm just starting to date a few new, or just like starting to talk to a few new people and kind of take some walks and that kind of thing. And so I was wondering if my spirit guides had anything to say about the new people coming into my life, if any of them are any worth my time.
Well, I always feel like I'm communicating through your spirit guides regardless of what I say.
Yeah.
But they're very excited that you're dating other people, which is another, I'm not saying you never have to see this person again, but let's just reduce it significantly. Let's not hang out that much with the old person, especially now that you're moving into new territory. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks, Donna, for calling in from the Redmond area.
And thanks for your 2 cents, Benny.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I was just adjusting cameras.
Okay,
and
no worries.
I got another set of hands I got to take care of.
I know.
All right, so 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. Kathleen from Maine. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
Hello,
Kathleen.
Kathleen.
This is my 3rd time being on the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for calling in. Was it helpful previously?
Yes, Marie, I'm in your psychic coaching.
Oh, you are? Thank you so much. I love those coaching classes. They are so fun.
It's awesome because you're facilitating it. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I really love it. And it just attracts wonderful and amazing people who can work together to propel change and expansion and higher levels of consciousness. So thank you so much for participating. And what can I do for you today?
I too appreciated your beginning talk. My North Node is in Sagittarius.
Oh, wow.
So when I heard that, I was like, I was so supposed to ask a question about me because the previous 2 times I've asked about family
other
members.
people.
I met you by hearing you with Kelly White.
Oh, so we've just recently met then, because that was, I think, last month or so when she interviewed me. I love her, by the way. I really, really do. She's, I mean, she and Suzanne Giesman are probably, I feel like they're part of my posse, even though we've never physically met. But if we lived closer, we'd go out to coffee or tea for sure.
So I've had a lot of female yeast issues for years.
Yeah.
And I know it has to do with worry and first and second chakra and career path. And when I saw that you were a nurse, I lit up like a star, stardust.
I like stardust. 40 tons or 40,000 tons.
Yes. I got into nursing school for the fall. I'm 46 and I'm the paid part-time caretaker for my dad who has Parkinson's. And I'm really unclear about my career path. Right. And I've done a number of things. I've taught yoga for 23 years, owned a yoga studio for 10. I'm a psychic medium.
So
I'm
why
a Reiki master.
Why don't you work in the psychic medium world? I mean, you're taking my psychic class, so...
Yeah, I went to psychic school as well for a long time. And I feel like I need to join it with something Western, bring it together so that I'm a Taurus. And
I love Taurus, And Uranus is in your chart. I mean, is in Taurus right now, so it's massive. You're in massive transformation. I'm not against you going to nursing school or getting a career in nursing. I actually feel a little bit of joy about it for some interesting reason. The reason why I'm which is good, right? But the reason I'm holding back is because modern medicine is not your first choice of health and recovery and repair.
Okay.
Agreed?
Okay.
Is that true? Right. So just know that if you go to nursing school and then you start to work in nursing, which I loved, I still miss the hospital every day. I literally do. You will be doing things that will be going against your belief system. And because, and it's not that you don't believe in modern medicine. Of course I do as well. But if someone's not feeling well, you're probably going to walk into a room or, whether it's a patient in a clinic or a hospital, and you're going to know what they need to do, and you're not going to be able to do exactly what you want to do to help them. And that's perfectly fine, right? Everybody gets to choose how they want to heal. So I personally think what's off is you have a significant lack of confidence and a significant lack of worthiness. Now, some people can create, and often do actually, more of that confidence when they do go and get some modern education. They just do, right? So if that's what you feel you need to do for you to go, okay, I'm good enough now, I'm wise enough, I'm smart enough, I'm balanced enough, or whatever it is that you think you need to do, and nursing school sounds like fun, because that would be the reason I want you to go, because it makes you happy. That's the answer. Whatever brings us joy, that's where we're supposed to go. And the logical mind can't tell us that. It's an energetic, internal vibration that we feel in our body.
Right.
So if
Go ahead.
So if it feels like that, great. And the yeast is from frustration. And the second chakra, which governs reproductive organs, is about career and money and intimate partnership and close personal friends and creativity. So there's probably 2 or 3 of those things that you are frustrated about and annoyed and disappointed. Agreed?
Yeah. I mean, and I get calls all the time for clients.
Okay.
And it's all word of mouth.
Yes.
But it's the but. But I'm like, how do I support myself long term or financially? Because that's the battle with the Taurus. Because I love being able to have consistent, money coming in.
But why wouldn't you? Oh, because you're taking care of your dad, or
the care of my dad. I feel like with the nursing, I'll really be compromising that, and it feels like I'm forcing it, and I'll be pulled away from the home when I'm supposed to be in this situation with a veteran, my dad, who has PTSD and Parkinson's and the dementia, to help people with all the energies of life. That's part of my schooling.
Well, here's what I'm thinking is you can make all the money you want doing something that you love. So you need to get out of your head about how to create wealth and stability and comfort. I mean, I have one of the weirdest jobs in the world. I helped pay for my children to go to college. I helped pay for their weddings. I mean, I make enough resources to live my life in a comfortable and fun way with one of the weirdest jobs in the world. So you have to stop that processing. I think you should take the next couple of weeks and don't think about any of this. Don't try to analyze it. Don't let your logical mind try to get you answers, and just get really, really, really happy and spend time being in joy and let the universe communicate to you what's in your highest good.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I knew you were going to talk about joy, and I wrote down one time I was doing a massage for a performer at Red Rocks a number of years ago, and he made me go side stage, even though I was like, I can't be in the concert, like I pick up too much. And I was counseling people coming off stage.
You clearly have natural gifts and talents. You just need to feel that you're worthy and deserving, and that you can have a wonderful life doing whatever you need, and you're supported financially. Okay? Okay. So I'll see you actually tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll see you tonight at the psychic coaching class.
You know, thank you so much. You talked about this client in your book. About her going to med school, and then she had seizures, and I was like, oh God, I'm putting myself there.
Well, I'm not against modern medicine if it brings someone joy. I love modern medicine, but if it doesn't bring you joy, why do that? What a waste of your time and energy. And you know what? That lovely client, when I went to Alaska, I think it was 2019, she was on the cruise. It was an Esther Hicks cruise, and she was there, and we got to spend some time together. So and she's doing fabulous, of course. Okay. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you tonight.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kathleen, for joining us. And from Maine, 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. We're going to take our first break of the hour, if that's cool.
Sure.
We'll be right back with more from Marie.
Thank you, Benny. I love that song. That's beautiful.
It's a nice little throwback there just a few years ago with Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton, and Say Something.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's why we're here, because you got to say something.
We have to say something, right?
Totally.
So I know that we have some of my classes, some new coaching, one new coaching program and some repeat coaching programs are now on the website, energyintuitive.com. I'm excited to announce that fall 2021 courses are up on the classes. Medium coaching is now live, a brand new coaching course. We already have people who've signed up for that one. So if you're interested, you better go to energyintuitive.com. I'll also be teaching some favorites, vibrational coaching and financial freedom. So please go to the website and check that out. And starting in winter, I'll be teaching again psychic coaching and energy healing in 2022. But that'll be up in the next couple weeks or so. Those are not quite up yet, but the fall courses are. So if you're interested in taking a 12-week coaching program with me, I'm available.
Perfect.
Yes.
We like it when you're available.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll take Adriana calling it from Southport, North Carolina.
Great.
Adriana?
Hi, Marie. Hi, Benny.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? You sound like a dear old friend. I just love how you just came on. Hi, guys. Like you know us so well. I love it.
I do. I know you guys so well. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I called him before.
Was it
phenomenal?
helpful?
Great.
Okay, good.
Great transformation from it. And then I took a couple classes with you as well, Marie.
Thank you so
fun
much.
time listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't believe I got through. So I wanted to know just about like my chakra systems and my guides for so long.
Okay.
And now it kind of seems almost outdated, but I just finished a class yesterday for quantum healing hypnosis technique.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I really like it, and I just finished my level 2 course on that. So I guess I just general whatever the universe would like for you to tell me. I would love it.
Okay, great. Well, your chakra system looks really great. You've got energy going into the crown, the 6th, the 4th, the 3rd, which is not a common thing for me to see. I wish. The 2nd. And then in your root chakra, you have kind of a mixed, you have more energy moving in than out, but you have kind of a mixed thing going on. So feeling grounded, is just something that I would work on, at least right now. I don't think it's a chronic situation. I just think maybe a temporary thing. And the world is a little weird still, still weird. But Pluto is making this huge, transformation in Capricorn. And Capricorn's about breaking down structures and masculine energy, actually, and male dominance on the planet. So everything's changing so that we can move into balance and allow more feminine energy to reside on Earth as well, which is really lovely. What do you want to do in the world? That's
Help people.
Okay, great. So I love that idea. And no, I really do. And what makes you super, super happy?
Learning.
Okay.
It's kind of why I went this way, because it's like with this type of regression, I get to go and explore all of these different types of experiences that humans have had. So it's really fun for me.
Great.
Personally.
Great. And the learning's lovely, but at some point, you said you want to help people. And although I think when anyone does something that brings them joy, it does help humanity or the planet or animals, it does create assistance, of course, because it just cannot not. When you're in high frequency, you're helping the world. So the universe is just saying, the universe loves that you're having fun and they love that you're learning, but at some point you might have to step away from the desk as a learner and become a teacher or somehow active in doing things in the world that bring you great joy that will help other people. You know what I mean? So that's really the question. That's the question. What do you want to do?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of a hard question.
It is. I'm not disagreeing with that. So I want you to spend time getting curious about that. And I don't want you to feel like you have to choose this perfect right thing, because people evolve over time. Things change. So I want you, in a good way, as they do, we keep expanding. So I'd love for you to spend some time getting some clarity about what that would look like, that way that you move in the world that brings you enormous joy and fulfillment, that also affects humanity in a way that knocks your socks off.
Okay.
And then start creating that. Start creating that. Like, in other words, your guides are knocking on your door like, okay, you can stay in school a little bit longer, but eventually you have to graduate and leave the building.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I just did yesterday.
Good.
So I did just finish, and I'm going to start moving into doing, I've felt this really big push on to continue doing sessions and stuff right now. So
I think
it's kind of
hypnotherapy is huge. I think it's extremely, extremely important. Good hypnotherapy that's based in positivity and compassion and kindness and all of those things. Yeah, I think it's a big deal. And because we're in air signs that are now affecting the earth, everything to do with the mind and thinking is what's going to be moving humanity forward. So I think it's a really great idea. Okay?
Fantastic. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome. Have a great day.
You guys have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Adriana, for joining us from North Carolina. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Manuchehri Show. We have some people calling in from Canada, trying hard, desperately.
They even text you, right?
Steffi, I'm actually messaging here. I'm on like 4 windows over here.
Because the lines are full.
Jam-packed.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, but it's bad.
I know.
But it's good.
I know.
Okay. Let's see here. Where are we at? Susie from LA. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
Thank you.
Good. What can I do for you?
I'm calling in about my health. It's just been a constant battle between chronic fatigue, insomnia.
So sorry.
Both which I'm coming out of. Now I have the opposite effect. Yeah.
Oh,
now I have the opposite effect. I'm in bed. I can't get out of bed. I got to get up for work. My body is just so heavy. So I'm just curious what's going on with me on that front.
And how long has that been going on, even the chronic fatigue area? Because to me, you're still in a health scenario. So how long has that been going on for you?
Well, the insomnia was years. And I would say I finally got out of that about the same time I got the chronic fatigue. The chronic fatigue forced me to get some sleep, but I was a zombie for like about 6 months. A Chinese herbalist, she told me it was going to be 6 months, but my chi was depleted. I'm feeling better now, taking magnesium, sesame oil rub downs at night with hot showers.
Nice.
Sleeping at least 5 hours.
I know that's an improvement, right? This is an improvement.
Yeah, significant improvement, and now dead to the world at 7 o'clock in the morning still, and I need it.
Well, you're catching up. You're catching up on rest, but I believe a lot of this is hormonal. I really do. I think you've had issues with your hormones most of your life, by the way. I don't think they've worked in balance for a long time. Would you agree with that?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I think that you need to do things to enhance your hormonal movement. That's what I think. And you don't have to do things like, you could, but you don't have to do like bioidenticals or even synthetic hormones. There's herbs and antigens that you can use that balance the body.
I'm on some synthetics or hormones,
you are?
estrogen and progesterone.
I would not recommend synthetics, especially when your energy is slow and tired. I would not. So I would switch to bioidenticals.
Okay.
Right, because when your body's slow and tired and you're taking synthetics, then it's going to be harder for you to detox from them or move them out of your body. So if you can do bioidenticals, they're going to break down easier. You'll have less toxic complications related to it. So what do you do for your adrenal glands?
So I saw a nutritionist. Like I said, I've been on this quest for a while. A couple of years ago. Yeah. She had me on something. I did it for a little while, and then
adrenals.
I'm moving all the time.
Okay.
For adrenals.
Adrenals take a while.
But nothing now.
Right. Adrenals take a while to build up. They just do. And so I would love for you to find a wonderful adrenal formula. I happen to like Therapeutic Energetics. They have a great HPA Adapt formula. That's like that. But there's so many of them on the planet. There's so many. But look for antigen. You want something, the herbal combination where it's going to work for you in a really positive way. So I think you need to feed your adrenals, and you might have to feed your adrenals for the rest of your life, which is not a problem. They're just herbs. It's just that when you get into that kind of chronic fatigue area, we know your adrenals are exhausted. And I think some people think, well, I already took care of my adrenals. I'm like, how is your mind relaxed? Are you a positive thinker? Can you be happy? Because if you don't have that kind of energy feeding your body, then it can be even more challenging to get the adrenal glands to operate in a positive way.
Right. Well, I've been doing all that fairly recently. I would say in the last year or so. Meditation. I found your show in about the October time frame.
Good.
So things have shifted, and I did enjoy listening to your opening about the eclipse. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
And that's what I was asking. But
so let's feed your adrenals. I mean, you're doing great work, and you're moving forward, and things are improving, which is great. But let's maybe go back to that nutritionist, or ask a naturopath, or consider that one product that I recommended. That's what you wanted to start doing, is feeding those adrenal glands.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And my husband just lost his job. Anything that you can see for him?
I'm not worried. I wish he wouldn't get upset. That's what I wish. I wish he would go, oh, I'm having a little bit of a relaxed moment here. Like some downtime. He needs some downtime, actually. That's how I want him to look at it is, okay, I'm just going to relax for a little while. I'm going to go on some long walks, maybe go on some hikes, maybe start cooking. I don't know if he likes to cook or not, but
he loves to cook.
Great.
Family.
Great. Like have some more fun time, spending more time picking ingredients and spending longer time prepping for food since he loves it so much. I'm not worried about him getting a job in the future, but I do think he needs a break.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome.
Right.
Have a great day in LA.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thanks, Susie, for joining the show. 877-825-8828 is the number. We'll take one more before our last break of the hour. And or did you have something to say? I hold a piece of paper there.
Well, Healing Touch Four Corner Summit.
Mm-hmm.
It starts today.
It does.
Today. It's the power. I offered a virtual, lovely recording for them. The Power of Healing is in the subconscious mind. It started yesterday, actually. But their entire summit, it all starts today. I'm so confused about the date. I am confused about the days.
It's okay.
I really am. So make sure you go to Healing Touch and check out their summit, the Healing Touch Four Corner Summit. You can go to any of my social media aspects and find their links or connections, or just go to healingtouch.com and find what you need.
Perfect.
And it's on demand for an entire year. So you're going to have access for it for an entire year. It's Healing Touch Worldwide Foundation to purchase your access. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Great.
One more, and then yes, I know you're just doing your little homework there.
I am.
Jenny from the Seattle area. Hi, Jenny.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Great to hear you both this morning. I'm doing well.
Yeah, you sound good. I like your energy.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Looking out at the
weather.
Yeah. Got through today, so thanks so much. I am debating whether or not to get surgery, and then if I do, who should perform it.
Okay. What kind of? Do you mind telling me what kind of surgery?
Yeah. So bladder sling.
Oh, okay.
And then there's also been a fibroid in there. So it's now up to 9 centimeters. Last time I got the ultrasound.
But we do want to get that fibroid removed. Yeah, fibroids are benign, but we do want to get that removed. Did they talk about doing the blast? I forget what it's called, where they just burn the lining of the uterus.
It's already 9 centimeters.
Has it moved into the lining of the uterus then?
It is growing in the lining of the uterus.
So they can't do that particular procedure, I believe, that they can't now. So you'll have to have it surgically removed, the fibroid. I'm not convinced that you should have the bladder sling surgery. I would prefer that you do other things first, regardless, even if you do that particular procedure. How much time have you spent, because clearly you've got some issues in that second chakra area, how much time have you spent strengthening your pelvic floor?
It's been 10 years, multiple rounds of physical therapy, and so that's where it's sort of at this kind of tolerable.
Right.
Some days it's just inconsistent. Mostly it's just a minor annoyance.
Right.
But I'm never just carefree.
Okay.
With all the work I've done.
So when you...
But we don't know the fibroid might be...
creating some of the problem too. So you could do that first, although you may not want to do, go back in for surgery again. Right. So I can understand what there's actually, I know this is going to sound really weird, but there's actually a homeopathic remedy that strengthens the bladder, and it works really well. But I've seen a physical therapist for pelvic floor things as well, but I have found way more success doing exercises on my own, quite frankly. Yeah. And maybe you've done that yourself as well. I don't really know, but I have found
I have tried a variety of different things between yoga and so
my daughters turned me on to like these birth recovery things that they did after giving birth, and they go, Mom, these are really great, and they say that any woman of any age can do this because it strengthens your pelvic floor. So that's what I did, and I noticed a huge difference. But there is a homeopathic remedy. If you write into energyintuitive.com and ask me for it because I don't have the name with me. You know, it really, really works. And you don't. One of the things about homeopathic remedies as well, you don't have to take them forever because they retrain your body. So this one literally trains your bladder to be stronger, and which is amazing, right? That's just amazing. And you'll notice it right away. So I'm not against if you have done so much and you've worked very hard. So I can understand why you'd want to do the bladder sling or some other type of surgery to create the freedom that you want in your body that you deserve, right? You deserve that. But maybe just try a couple more things. Maybe do the fibroid surgery first and see see what happens.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm kind of taking it in.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the fibroid one was the one that I thought I could just leave there.
No.
It's benign.
Well, yeah, it's benign, but you know, it should be shrinking. You know, fibroids are supposed to shrink when women start to change their hormones. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And yours is not doing that.
No.
So we need to get that puppy out.
Okay.
That's what I think. So let's get that out because we don't want it to grow through the vaginal wall. We don't want it to grow into other parts of your body.
Yeah.
Right? So let's get that out and let's just see how your body does.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and you never have to do what I say. You can do whatever you want, of course.
No, I appreciate that. And then when we think about which doctor to do it, there's kind of three I'm thinking about.
I see a woman. Are any of those a woman? Yeah. Okay. I see a woman.
All three women. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah. She has dark hair. She's either relatively young or looks really great for her age.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Well,
they all look the same.
Yeah, well, one's Asian, one's Indian, and one's African American.
Oh, so that makes sense. So here's what I'm going to have you do. I want you to look at each one of them, and I don't want you to do this from your head. You know, one of the most important aspects about getting information is you don't want to. Intuition cannot be discovered through logic. It just can't.
Yeah.
So I want you to get out of your head and rest in your body. Close to that fibroid. That fibroid is there in your body saying, get out of your head. Come hang out here with me. That's literally what it's asking you to do. And then which one brings you joy? I think they're all talented and skilled. Just which one brings you joy?
Yeah.
That's the answer always. The answer is always joyful. Okay? Is the right answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. And I'm
Have
excited for you. Thank you, you too.
Thanks, Jenny, for joining us from the Seattle area. 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. And we will be right back. We're at our last break of the hour.
Really?
I know.
It's going by too fast.
We'll be right back with more from Marie.
And welcome back to the Manuchehri Show. We're live here in Bellevue. I was just telling Benny, I got the cutest little picture in a text. The only boy in the family, Lucien, and the grandchildren. He, his nanny, because both of his parents work from home, on video, so they can't just hold the baby and work, right? She unfortunately had a family emergency and had to leave for the week, and so Mina texted me a picture. He's standing in his crib, looking out the back window. They're building the fence in the backyard. The fence is old, so they're getting a new one. And she goes, free childcare. This kid just loves to watch Power Tools. So we're like, oh, okay. This is like boy energy. It's new for our family.
Or a future engineer.
Or contractor.
There we go.
Yeah, adorable. Yeah, so she's getting her child care through the guys in the backyard building a new fence. Yeah, that's really adorable.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
877-825-8828 for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll take now Hunter, and she is calling from Cincinnati. Hi, Hunter.
Hello.
Hello, Hunter. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am lovely. What can I do for you?
Good. I was just calling because I have just kind of felt really off balance. Probably for the last year, but especially since January, I started experiencing some health issues, migraines,
I'm
double
so
vision.
sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. So kind of like fifth and sixth chakras, So the migraines are governed by the sixth chakra, and then the fifth chakra governs the mouth and,
Yes.
Right. Okay. So do you feel like you're blocking your intuition? Because that is what is the reason why people get headaches or migraines or cluster headaches or any of those. It's from blocking their insight.
Probably. I would say that I started kind of having, like a spiritual awakening sometime last year. And it's not that it frightened me, but it just kind of threw me to where, sometimes I'm doubtful in what I'm receiving.
That totally makes sense to me because, and this is the common issue I see with lots of people, and even myself sometimes in my personal life, I find myself using my mind to try to understand something that can only be understood intuitively or accurately through intuition. So you have to shut down your brain and not allow the logical solutions to come forward, and certainly don't accept logical solutions about these bigger, more encompassing aspects of yourself. You have to let go of your brain and rest away from it and ask from an intuitive place and wait for intuitive information to come through. And intuitive information is always compassionate, kind, loving, surprising. It's always like, I'm still surprised I have a dog. I'm still surprised he's 2. I'm still shocked I have a dog. That was definitely an intuitive experience. Even some of my friends didn't think I should get a dog. And some did. It was kind of divided. And then I'm still surprised I'm teaching online courses. Never thought I would ever do that because I love teaching in person so much. But it's so much easier, and everybody's more relaxed. They can go to the bathroom when they want to. They can eat when they want to. They're in their slippers or their pajamas, they don't have, you know what I mean? It's just a much easier experience. And when you're working with people on intuition, they can grasp the information better if they're relaxed. So stop listening to your mind.
Yes. Okay.
It's a really
Easier
big
said
deal
than
for
done.
it is. I agree. But now you have, you have some ways of even reckoning. Is this my mind or my intuition? Intuition is calm, relaxed, compassionate, and surprising. Always surprising. Always. Okay?
And then I was just wondering, along with those kind of issues I was having, there was some lymphatic drainage. Is that also related to the 5th and 6th chakra?
No, that would be 4th. So I drew out your energy, and you don't have a leak that I can see, but you don't have a lot of movement in chakras 2, 3, 4, and 5. So luckily nothing's leaking out, but I just don't see movement. You have energy moving into the root and the 7th and the 6th, which is excellent, but I don't see a lot of movement. So it could be great to have lymphatic drainage. You want the lymph nodes to release.
Yes.
big part of their job. So maybe you had a major release, which is great. Overall, I think you need to, what I keep seeing is you just like take baths, and longer showers, take naps. Intuitives, at least the intuitives that I know who have, also really great careers, we rest, we take naps, we don't push ourselves because intuition is a receptive energy. So you have to be in that receptive mode, means you have to stop thinking, you just have to be, right?
Right. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day, and thanks for calling in, Hunter.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Hunter, so much for joining the show. 877-825-8828. And we will take now Claire. Claire's calling in from New Hampshire.
Ooh.
Hi, Claire.
Hi there. How are you guys?
We are great. Thank you. What can I do for you?
I need to make a decision about vaccinating both of my kids. And one of my sons has a pretty sensitive system. So I was just wondering if you could take a look at what you're getting intuitively on if this will be a good choice for him.
And you're talking about the new vaccine, correct?
Yeah, it's now available for 12 and up. So I have a 12-year-old and a 15, almost 16-year-old.
Is it the 15-year-old that's sensitive?
It's really both of them, but the 12-year-old has had, we've done the most cleaning up of his system the last year and a half. So we discovered that all of us are sensitive to gluten, so that's out of our diet. And then we've just been working really hard to rebalance his gut for over a year. And so I'm just a little nervous about, the vaccine's so new. I have it myself, and I'm not against vaccines at all. But just thinking that this is a vaccine without a lot of long-term studies associated with it.
I understand. I'm a nurse. I'm like, what? We have a vaccine and we haven't studied it for a decade? Wait, and I am vaccinated myself for the new vaccine. I really believe that everybody needs to make their own personal choices, as you do, about any type of vaccine. I know some states don't agree with that with certain vaccines, but I think everybody needs to make their own choice. I think your 12-year-old would handle it just fine, quite frankly. Interesting enough.
2 doses of it.
Yeah, and is that what's required for? Yeah, because they're using the adult dosage, I think, for the 12 on.
Yeah, they're using Pfizer right now.
Yeah. Okay. And actually, I would wait a little bit for your 15-year-old because, and they're both boys, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in a lot of hormonal shifts right now, so his energy. But you could even wait a little longer for both of them, if you wanted to. So if you wanted to wait, because the Pfizer vaccine, well, and probably the Moderna, I'm sure all of them, they're going to be fully approved probably this summer, most likely.
Okay.
So if the kids aren't going to school and you feel comfortable about waiting till they're fully vaccinated, if that's what you need to feel good about it, I also recommend that people take homeopathic remedies for vaccines, right? And you can write into our website because I don't have the information with me. I got it from a great source. It's related to a naturopathic doctor who I think is actually on the East Coast. And she specializes in children to support them homeopathically when they get vaccines. But you can use the same thing for adults. So we'll be happy to send you that information. So you can wait till it's fully approved if you want to. I would do the 12-year-old before the 15-year-old. Isn't that interesting?
That's so interesting. I did not see that coming at all. And we have a trip plan to see family, and then they have an opportunity to go away to camp for a month this summer.
I actually think you're
feeling some pressure to get it done.
So if you feel the pressure, I think they're both going to do extremely well. I'm not concerned about them. I'm just letting you have some options, right? Because I think people need to have options and choices. But I believe that about all vaccines, not just this one, all of them. I think people need to make their own decisions about what they want to put in their body or not, right? Like that's just normal. I think that's a normal thing.
Absolutely.
But I think both of your kids would do great, just so you know.
Okay. And long term, you see no long-term issues.
Well,
I think they'll tolerate the vaccine, but there's no data about
there isn't
the rest
data.
Of their life.
You're absolutely
I mean?
correct. However, the interesting things about these new vaccines, like the Moderna and the Pfizer, they don't stay in the body long, unlike things that have mercury and aluminum in them, like our regular vaccines, where they stay in the body for very, very long periods of time. So it's a different kind of science. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
helpful. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Have a beautiful day. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. We just love all of you, Benny and I, and Jen when she's here. She's in the air right now. We just love all of you.
Big hugs.
Really. And we thank you for staying on the phone lines and waiting for us to answer your phone calls. And we wish everyone a beautiful and joyful blessing. And stay aware for the eclipse and let yourself transform. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.